In this first video, I'm going to talk you through some of the basics of writing HTML code. To get started, you're going to need to create a new file in your text editor and then save that file as index.html. Now, before we start writing any HTML code, we're going to be using some particular keys on your keyboard that you probably haven't used very much before, and it's important that you know where to find them. So the first character that you need to look for is the less than or opening angle bracket character, and then you also need to find the greater than or closing angle bracket character, and finally the / character. Once you're comfortable with typing those characters, we can carry on. Now, all HTML documents follow the same basic structure. They start with a doc type tag, which specifies the version of HTML that we're writing. In this case, it's HTML5. And now I'm going to add an HTML tag that specifies where the HTML code begins. And I'm also going to add a closing HTML tag. Okay, so note the difference. The closing tag has this / in it. So this closing tag specifies where the HTML document finishes. And inside here, I'm going to add some more tags. I'm going to add a head, put in the closing tag as well, and a body. So all HTML documents have a head and a body. The body is used for the content of our page, the content that we want to display actually in the browser page, and the head is used for information about our page. So this is known as metadata. So what might we put in here? Well, we might put, for instance, a title for the page. Okay, now this isn't going to show in the browser window, but it'll be used in the browser tab and in history and in bookmarks. Okay, so let's just call this my first web page. Close the title tag. And so let's put something in the body then of this page. We're going to let's add a heading. Okay, so this actually will be displayed in the page. So to create a top level heading, I'm going to use the h1 tag, and let's just say my page heading, close the h1. Okay, so we've now got this heading. By the way, all of this together here, the opening tag, content, closing tag, all of that is referred to as an HTML element, and you'll probably hear me talking about elements a lot as we progress through this video series. Okay, so we've now got a title and a heading. Let's have a look at how those actually look in the browser. So now you can see we've got in the tab, we've got the My First Web Page text, and we've got a heading, My Page heading. Okay, let's have a look at the example web page that we're going to be creating during this series. So we've got here underneath this sort of header and navigation, we've got an introduction heading and a paragraph of text, and we've got an image underneath that. Let's copy and paste this paragraph and heading. I'll copy those, and then I'm going to paste those into our code. So let's remove this heading here and paste in the new content. So introduction, that's our heading. Now, actually, this isn't the main heading for this particular web page. So the web page is called Teach the Web, and that's our main heading. So that we would normally mark up with an H1 top level heading. So use H1 here, and then introduction is a subheading, so it's the next level down, so we'd use H2 here. And then we've got a paragraph of text here. Let's just indent that. And so to indicate a paragraph, we use a P tag, P for paragraph. And let's put the closing P tag in at the end of the paragraph. Okay, so now we've got a top level heading, a subheading, and a paragraph of text. And we could view those in our browser. There we are, we can see those bits of content there. Now, if you were paying careful attention earlier, you'll have noticed that the last couple of words in this paragraph here are, in fact, a hyperlink. Okay, so how do we add a hyperlink into our HTML document? Let's have a look at that. So here is the phrase that we want to turn into the hyperlink. And what we're going to do is we're going to nest some tags inside our paragraph. So we're going to use an anchor tag, which is actually just written as an A for anchor. So an opening anchor tag here and a closing anchor here. And inside the opening anchor tag, we're going to specify an attribute. Okay, and we'll be coming across lots of attributes as we go through the series. So the href here is actually a hyperlink reference. So it's basically the URL for the page that we want to link to. So we can specify a value for our attribute by typing equals, and then inside quotation marks we can type the URL for our link. I'm just going to grab the URL from this page here. So let's just copy the link address and then go back to the code and paste the URL in there. Okay, so now in our page, we should see that we have got a hyperlink. Okay, and that hyperlink, if we were to click on that, would take us to the destination that we were targeting. Okay, so we've got our headings, our paragraph, and we've now got a hyperlink. What else did we have there in the page? We've also got this image here, so we could put an image into this document as well. Let's get the same image. So to do this, we're going to need to actually import the image file itself into our project folder. Okay, so I've got this image here, and I'm just going to drag that and drop it into the project folder here. Okay, so now if we go back to brackets, we can see in the file tree here, we can see that we've indeed got that image now here, and so we could add that into the page. So let's just have a look at how we might do that. So to add an image, we can use the image tag, which is actually just written as img, and we can then specify an attribute of source, or src, and we give the value which is the path to the image that we want to add. Okay, so you might have noticed that it was giving me a kind of prompt telling me the path that we could use to add our picture of Tim Berners-Lee. So let's just do that again. Hopefully we get that prompt. Okay, so here, the second option here, we click there, gives us the full path to the image with its extension. We can even see the image as we hover over that path. And we could just close our tag here. So there's no text content, so we don't have a usual closing tag. So what we do instead is we just close the tag with a slash and then a closing bracket like this. So it's all kind of contained within this one tag, if you like, the information that we need here, which is just the link to the image that we want to display. Now, we could add further attributes for the width and the height of this image, and we could also specify alt text, which is alternative text that would be displayed when the image can't be viewed and would be very helpful for users with visual impairments. But for now, let's just see how this is looking in the browser. Okay, so we've now got an image along with the other content that we added previously. So we're starting to add some content here and getting a sense of how this will all work. And what we need to do in future is start to think about how we might be able to style this content and also start to add further content and think about the layout that we want to use for our page. So we'll get to that in the next videos.